Let us take up these questions starting with the first one. The problem related to articulation point in a connected undirected graph. So, first in this question they have defined what is articulation point. So, let us read it. An articulation point, which you know it, perhaps we have seen in lectures or in textbook, it is also called cut vertex. Articulation point is also called cut vertex. So, articulation point in a connected graph is a vertex such that the removal of which, if I remove that vertex along with its incident edges, it is going to partition the graph, it is going to cut the graph into two or more non-empty connected components. Connected, look at that, non-empty or connected components. That is the definition of articulation point, as simple as that. So, before I proceed to the question, like for example, if you consider this graph, the graph G is a connected undirected graph. What are articulation points in this? If you start with vertex B, it is not an articulation point. If you see C is not articulation, 8 is not, D is not, E is not, but A is articulation point. Why? Because if I remove A along with its edges, one component I get to the left BCD and the other I get to the right, which is E. So, in this graph A is articulating or A is cut vertex. Now, what is the question here? Which of the following options is or are correct? Which of the following options A, B, C, D? Remember, in this gate question was an MSQ, multiple select. But in MSQ it is not necessary that multiple options should be correct, because he is saying very clearly in the question is or are. There may be one correct or more than one correct. So, we have to find out that. We have seen in the properties of articulation points and depth first search that root of the depth first search spanning tree can always be an articulation point. Why not? Root can always be an articulation point. Well, it can be an articulation point for a given depth first search traversal of a undirected graph, okay, of a connected undirected graph. So, he say first option, root of T can never be articulation point. So, therefore, this is wrong, they are absolutely wrong. And then before I come to choices B, C, let us see D, because why I am coming to D? Because D is totally contradicting to A. D is totally contradicting to A. So, if A is false, the D has to be true when it is contradicting. So, root of T is an articulation point in G if and only if it has two or more children. That is a standard property as you studied and we have seen in our lectures also. Root for the root of the depth first search spanning tree, not the graph. There is no concept of root in the graph. So, for the root to be articulation point, the condition or the property is that when we perform the depth first search traversal from that root, then it should have at least two children, two or more. Like for example, of this graph, if I perform a depth first search, this is a depth first search of a graph starting from vertex A is articulating. Purposefully I have started from A. Why? Because A is articulating and I am proving for this graph that it has two children. Look at this, B and E. So, I started from A. If you observe the order in which I am performing the traversal, this is 1, sorry, A is 1, B is 2, the order in which I am visiting the vertices 3, 4. So, I visit A, B, D, C. From C there are no more options, so I backtrack, I come back to A, and from A there is an option E, so I visit E. So, therefore, this is the last node to visit it. So, therefore, this is the property for last option D. So, A is gone, D is correct. So, D is correct. D is correct. A leaf of T can be an articulation point of G, right? This is not true. Leaf can never be an articulation point. In any depth first search traversal you perform, leaf of the depth first search spanning tree would never be an articulation point. These are standard properties that we studied in our lectures. And then look at that, option B. If U is some vertex U is an articulation point in G such that if X is an ancestor of U in T and Y is descendant of U in T, then all paths from X to Y, must in the graph G must pass through U. So, let us verify this point. Like for example, now for the same given graph I will perform a new depth first search from a new vertex. Earlier I performed depth first search from vertex A. Now, let us perform the depth first search traversal from vertex B of the graph. So, I am starting from B. So, 1. Then I am visiting A, quite possible. From A I have option I can go to C or I can go to E. Okay. Let us say I go to C. 3, and from C I come to D, is 4. Then D there are no more options, so I backtrack to C, I backtrack to A. From A I have option, I can go to E. So, this is the 5th vertex to be visited. And then for example, I come back and then process and continue and finish. So, 5 vertices in this order I have visited. So, who is the articulation point here? So, let us see. Which vertex is the articulation point? This is articulation point U. So, as per option B, if U is an articulation point in G such that X is an ancestor, who is X? B, B is an ancestor. So, I am taking this as X, and Y is a descendant of U in T. Let us take Y as vertex D. So, this is Y, this is Y. Are you getting my point? This is Y. So, this is X, this is Y. So, B and D are X and Y, are X and Y, because in this spanning tree T, this is a spanning tree T. In this spanning tree T, depth first spanning tree of the graph, U is an articulation point, X is ancestor, Y is descendant. So, I am taking descendant as D, I am taking descendant as D and ancestor as B. Okay. What he says, then all paths from X to Y, all paths from B to D, all paths in B, all paths from B to D, all paths from X to Y, that is B to D, in the graph G, not in spanning tree, in the graph G, must pass through U. Is it necessary? Is it necessary in the graph that every path from B to D must pass through A? No. You see this graph here, the path from B to D is not involving A. So, therefore, there is a clear violation with respect to this graph. This point clearly violates with respect to this. So, therefore, this is also incorrect. So, that means choice A, B, C are incorrect, only D is correct. What is that? Root of the spanning tree is articulation point if and only if it has at least 2 children. So, that is only, even though, so what I am trying to say for this problem, even though it is an MSQ question, but still only one option is correct. That is what is the characteristic of this. So, people generally get misled, they think that MSQ means at least 2 options should be correct. No, it is not. So, those of you who have done 2 options, that is wrong. There is only one option correct for this, even though it is MSQ, but not MCQ. So, that is why he says very clearly for all MSQs is or are. So, that means one option can also be correct. So, you have to be extremely careful with MSQ questions. Okay, right. So, let us take up the next one. Next one is also a very simple one. Based on sorting, consider the following array. So, if you observe the array, the array is sorted. Which algorithm out of the following option uses the least number of comparisons? Least, minimum, least number of comparisons. Okay. So, let me select it. Least number of comparisons among the array elements to sort the above in ascending order, increasing order. Array is already sorted, right? So, least number of comparisons, when the array is already sorted, which sorting technique will take the least number of comparisons to sort them in increasing order. You know very well the time complexities, the insertion sort behave in the best case, insertion sort behave in the best case when the array is already sorted, right? Array is already sorted, where it takes only order of n time, order of n comparisons, no exchanges, order of n comparisons. Merge sort always will make order of n log n comparisons, even if the array is sorted. Selection sort will always take a number of comparisons is order of n square, and quick sort when the array is already sorted will behave in the worst case, we said, taking order of n square comparisons, order of n square comparisons. So, insertion sort, right, insertion sort is the least among them. So, therefore, clearly the correct answer is insertion sort. Insertion sort will take the least number of comparisons, because when the array is already sorted, number of inversions are 0, and the time complexity of insertion sort with respect to number of inversions, if you observe, we gave it in the class or lectures as order of n plus d. So, therefore, if d is equal to 0, it implies it is order of n, that is what we derive, order of n. So, therefore, the least number of comparisons made will be by insertion sort when the array is already sorted, remaining all you see are all greater than n. That is it, that is a very simple question. This is MCQ. Okay, right. Now, look at this also, very typical and simple question. A binary search tree T contains n distinct elements. What is the time complexity of picking an element in T that is smaller than the maximum element? See, maximum element can be present anywhere, right. So, people often think, this is also MCQ, people often think that basically I will have to perform a binary search, or I will have to basically perform some traversal. If you apply common sense, let the maximum element be anywhere present in the binary search tree. What you need to do is take two elements. Any two elements of binary search. Imagine if binary search is implemented in the form of an array, you can take the first and second element, or you can take second and third. You can take in general I and I plus 1th element from the array. It may contain maximum, it may not contain maximum. He is saying not to find the maximum, smaller than, look at that, smaller than the maximum element. You need to find an element which is smaller than the maximum element. So, therefore, let maximum element may be between 1 and 2, between I and I plus 1, or it may not be between I and I plus 1. So, among these two, for example, if you make one comparison, among these two, if you make one comparison to find out which is smaller element, then I got the answer. So, therefore, what is the algorithm for this? The algorithm is very simple, take two elements, make a comparison to find the smaller of them, and you get the answer, because he is not saying you find the second maximum. He is not asking that second maximum, he is asking smaller than maximum element. So, essentially I just need one comparison among two elements with order of one time or constant amount of time. So, straight away the answer is theta of 1. So, it is not like log n or n log n or n, got it? Very simple common sense question. Okay. Consider the following recurrence relation: T of n is equal to T of n by 2 plus T of 2n by 5 plus 7n if n is greater than 0, and if n is equal to 0 it is 1. Which one of the following options is correct? So, this is a normal recurrence under the asymmetric case. We have seen in our lectures, we have seen in our videos, okay, how to simplify this. So, number of problem we did, the very straightforward direct question. This is order of n. How? By deriving recursion tree. I will show the partial tree from where we have done similar problems in the class, right, and then based on that you can assimilate the concept. So, if you apply recursion tree, if you solve this question based on recursion tree, right. So, I write the equation T of n is given as T of n by 2 plus T of 2n by 5 plus 7n. So, expressing it in the form of a tree, root is 7n and its children are T of n by 2, T of 2n by 5. Then what do we need to do? You need to individually find the values of T of n by 2, T of 2n by 5 and substitute here. What is T of n by 2? T of n by 4 plus T of 2n by 10 plus 7n by 2, is it not? In place of n I am writing n by 2, that is it. In place of n we are writing n by 2, that is all. So, if I now write this value in place of this equation and the value of this. So, what is, let us also write what is T of 2n by 5, 2n by 5 in this equation. In place of n I should substitute 2n by 5. So, what will this become? T of 2n by 10 plus T of 2 into 2 4n by 5 into 5 25 plus 7 times 2n by 5. So, in place of n 2n by 5 it become 14. So, let me rub it off. It become, directly we will write the value. It becomes 7 into 2, 7 into 2, 14n by 5, is it not? That is all. What I am doing? In place of n, in everywhere in equation 1, this is equation 1. In equation 1, in place of n we are writing 2n by 5. So, 2n by 5, 2n, it become 2n by 10. So, 2 into 2 4n, 4n by 5 into 5 25, and in place of n we are writing 2n by 5. So, therefore, 7 into 2 14, 14n by 5. So, now if I substitute, the recurrence tree will get expanded as 7n, and then Tn by 2 the value is 14n by, sorry, Tn by 2 the value is 7n by 2, 7n by 2, is it not? 7n by 2. And then what are its children? Its children are Tn by 4 and then the other is t of 2n by 10, t of 2n by 10, okay. And then the right hand side of this t of 2n by 5, so root value is 14n by 5, 14n by 5, and its children are t of 2n by 10, and the other is t of 4n by 25. That is it. So, the computational effort at root is 7n, and then this, if you add the what will it become? So, let me write it here. So, I am adding 7n by 2 plus 14n by 5. So, I take 10, 5 means 5 7s are 35n, right, it goes 5 times, and this goes 2 times 28n. So, this is 50 and 63n by 10. So, this will always be a term with regard to n. So, when you add up, as we have seen several problems in the lectures, that this will become like a simple series, decreasing series, which is taken as a constant. So, therefore, if you keep on making a summation at all levels, my equation t of n will get some constant multiplied by n, okay. So, therefore, this will be taken as straight away theta of n. So, that is why the answer is theta of n. Simple. I mean, due to lack of space, I have not done expansion here. You can keep on expanding it and add them, as we have seen several similar problems in the class, and then you can make a summation. The equation will reduce to this. So, theta of n is the answer for this problem. This is also MCQ. Okay. It is also a very simple question. Consider the following 3 functions. So, mathematical functions are given, you need to arrange them in increasing order. Look at this, increasing order of asymptotic growth rate. So, let us write first function is 10 power n, second function is n power log n, and third function. So many questions were asked earlier, so similar question. Whenever, what did we said, whenever there is any confusion with regard to this, and if you want to find which is a smaller or which is a greater function, take log of both, log of the functions. So, what is this? This is f1, this is f2, this is f3. So, when I take log of this, it become n into log 10, let us say base 10, okay. And when I take log of this is log n into log n, log n whole square, and when I take log of this, it become root n into log n. So, if you compare, log 10 to base 10 will be simplified as 1. So, therefore, this is only n, this is log n into log n, and this is root n into log n. So many times we have seen in lectures that root n is always asymptotically greater than log n. So, this function is definitely greater. So, I have established the fact that f2 is definitely less than f3. Now, when you compare f3 and f1, naturally n is greater than root n, even if you multiply by log n. So, n is definitely greater than root n into log n. So, f2 less than f3 less than f1 asymptotically, is asymptotically less, not always. So, f2 is less than f3 less than f1. So, straight away this is also MCQ question. So, answer for that is straight away C, simple 1 mark problem, okay. Right. Another one, consider the following undirected graph with edge weights as shown here. Number of minimum weight, minimum cost spanning trees of the graph is very simple. So, the least weight edge is 0.1 and the other edge weight is 0.9. There are only 2 types of edges, one having weight of 0.1, the other is having weight of 0.9. So, let us construct the minimum cost spanning tree to find out how many are there. Similar questions we did in the class many times. So, again it is asked in the same way. Okay. So, let us take this. Okay. So, I will try to take all edges which are having value of 0.1. So, let us see how many can be included. This 0.1 is also 0.1, this is 0.1, this is 0.1, this is 0.1, this is also 0.1 and this is 0.1. Total number of vertices are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that means I need 8 edges. So I have 8 edges of 0.1 value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 I have, right. I do not have 8, 7 I have. So all 0.1 I have considered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all 7. Had there be another one with 0.1 value, 0.1 value of 8th edge, I would have considered, then I would have my answer would have been 1, but I do not have, I have only 7. Look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then the 8th edge has to be 0.9. Now 0.9, how many are there? In this segment I cannot add 0.9 because that will lead to cycle, so I cannot add this. This 0.9 also cannot be added at any cost because that will lead to cycle, so this also is gone. Now the question is, this is 0.9, this is 0.9, this is 0.9. Can I add this? Yes. If I add, it will be a spanning tree, though this is one MCST, right? Or maybe if I do not add this, I will remove it. Can I add this? Yes, this is also valid spanning tree. So this will be MCST2. So remove this. Now the question is, can we add this? Yes, this is also valid spanning tree. So that means out of this 0.9, this 0.9, this 0.9, one of them, because that is the 8th edge, one of them has to be selected. So 1 out of 3, 3C1. We have seen so many problems in the class. What is the value of 3C1? 3. So therefore the answer for this question, numerical aptitude, that answer is 3. So number of unique or distinct minimum weight spanning trees for this given graph, right, is nothing but 3. That is it. This is also a question similar to the one what we have discussed in the classes. Let P be an array containing an integers, let T be the lowest upper bound, minimum upper bound on the number of comparisons of the array elements required to find what? Required to find the minimum and maximum both in an array of n elements. Which of the following choices? So it is number of comparisons, T is number of comparisons, please. Minimum number of comparisons with to find the minimum as well as the maximum of an array, we have seen straight away divide and conquer, and the value number of comparisons T of n we derived in the classes, if you remember, as 3n by 2 minus 2. We make a very standard derivation, you can even see the Sahni textbook. So now among the options, which one is matching this value? You will have to make a conformance. Greater than 2n minus 2 gone, right, this is also gone, so this is correct. This is greater than n, 1.5n, this is 1.5n minus 2, so greater than n, but less than 3n by 2, 3n by 2 minus 2 I am saying, so less than that. So straight away, this is also MCQ question, so straight away the option is C, that is it. Or if you want to further explore this based on the tournament method which is used to determine the number of comparisons, which is given in the textbook of Karman, you can have a look at that. So either way, whichever method you feel convenient, you can follow to work out this problem, okay.